So I feel like you represent health and I represent wealth as far as
And together,
and then together
we would rise.
right. So with that being said, what does the vision ultimately look like when you're talking about a object, if you will, that's so needed? Like is in everything, water is needed. So
Right.
when you're thinking about changing the world of water, that's a big,
Oh, yes.
big
Yes, it is.
thing.
Well, first of all, I think we're born entrepreneurs in terms of just being visionaries. Like, we think about things differently than other people do, right? When you talk about something like water that's so essential to our whole existence, like water is a cornerstone of wellness, right? A lot of times people are taking supplements and running and trying to do different things, but your cells are not even receiving the nutrients that you're trying to take because the water that you're drinking is introducing new toxins into your body, right? It's how your body chemistry works. It's based on water. And it's just so fundamental to our existence, but people actually know nothing about it. So the first part of our work is really just about education, a lot like yours, is making people aware, like, this is how this works. This is what this means. If you don't do this, 20 years from now, this is what it's going to look like, which is actually really similar to the work that you guys do. So education and really being focused on people. If people know better, then they can start to do better. But then in terms of the worldwide takeover, which is real, I mean, we literally are going to map all of the world's water, right? So right now, throughout most of the Western world, there are sensors already, like at airports and hotels and just around, that are just sending readings for air quality. So anybody can snatch the data and use it and do whatever. But that doesn't exist for water. So what we're doing as a company is going in and building that infrastructure. Why aren't we testing water regularly? First, because some of the sensors don't exist, so we get to create that as well. So right now, according to Google, as you know, they said we're the world's largest water database. So we're the Google of water. So we kind of shift over into being more like the Amazon of water through our marketplace. So it's like, if you find out that your water's bad or you live in a red zone, what do I do? Well, click here, purchase, you know what I'm saying? And then we make revenue that way, but eventually we'll be the Apple of water. So where devices and sensors and IoT enabled things don't exist, we will create them. So why isn't your faucet just have a little sensor in it and a green light and you know your water's good, but if something changes, the light changes color, you get a notification on your app, like your house should be set up that way. So what I learned when I talk like this, right, and especially like we were talking about Atlanta, being from Atlanta, black woman, doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want, say whatever we want. When you go to Silicon Valley, and they tried to get me to move my company out there about 2 years ago, and I refused. I was like, no, born here, raised here, we're gonna change the world from here. But when you talk to people who are not used to seeing people that look like us with something that big, they say, oh my God, that's so ambitious. And I learned that's code.
It's code, right.
For
this is over your.
You can't, ooh, can you? No. And so I love a challenge, right? But we have to be very careful about putting limits or allowing people to put limits on what's possible, because, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, they would have said all the big tech companies now weren't possible.
Our culture is way more valuable than we know it to, than we treat it.
Yeah.
So we're just now, I believe personally, we're just now getting to a point where we see the value in our ideas and not just see the beauty in them.
Yeah.
There's a thin line to say, all right, I have these great
That's good.
ideas.
Go into that. That's deep.
And I know I could change the world, but then once you click into that mode, it's like, oh no, this idea is also valuable to me, not only on a monetary level, but it's valuable to me on a life level as far as a purpose or the passion or mission that I'm living out in life.
Yeah.
I think once we realize that these ideas we have that level of value and not just a great idea that could change the world, but a great idea that will change the world.
That's right.
I think the shift of that gear is that mindset part that is required to create generational wealth. Every black person I run into, on some level, says, "I want to create generational wealth."
Yes.
I want.
It's a thing that we say.
Yeah, I want my kids to have educational opportunities, occupational opportunities, without having to go into debt to get those opportunities.
Yeah.
Because that's basically the world that we kind of live in. So when I hear that, It's like, all right, that makes sense. That's the right thing to want. But then when I see our actions, and for instance, why don't we get life insurance if generational wealth is so important to us?
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to create it.
Wow.
So, but then there's a complex around, oh well, you're either uncomfortable with talking about death, or even in some situations, we don't want to leave all this money behind for the next person.
Yeah.
Thinking that they might not be smart with it, and we're just thinking about something that we won't even be here to control.
Right.
And letting these small things impede on what we say our bigger vision is of changing our generations to come. So when I see that, it's like, hold on, there's a gap between your understanding of how to get there and how to change the plight. Like, you don't know how to do it because what you're saying is not matching your behavior.
Yeah.
So if it's not matching, and then to me, I take that as a lack of understanding. And one of the things I wake up and what wakes me up every day is, Rob, how can you contribute to an individual understanding the connection between their behavior and their financial future? And we've just created these businesses that are platforms that enable you or empower you to shift your mind and not just tell you. It's like, I'm telling you, and here's what you can use to do it. And I think that's the difference.
That's so deep. You're actually birthing a different energy into the earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like a portal that you're opening up. Like,
really
through this vision, like, there's some new levels of consciousness that some people are about to experience, and wealth is a byproduct of that, right? Health and better relationships and just a better human experience come out of that. But that's like a high calling, though, as an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? To have to channel that energy every day.
And so that makes me think of another thing I'm curious about for you, like knowing how high of a calling that is. Do you ever have those moments where you kind of doubt, am I strong enough or good enough to really pull this off?
So that's an excellent question. I don't ever feel like in my head I can't do this, because I know, like, there are years in my life where I literally wanted to be like, I'm out, I'm good, I'm going to get a normal job, like, I got a Harvard degree, like, I'm not doing this. But I can't, because, like, I know who I am. I was born to do this, right? It's just what it is, who I am. So I never have that internal thought. What I struggle with and what I had to be careful about is people around me. If I get any kind of negative, like, I'm an empath. I didn't know that until like last year. It's like, it makes so much sense now. So if I get any kind of weird energy from anywhere, like, it throws me off so bad. Like, I started malfunctioning, and you're like, what's wrong with dog? Like, you know, I can't. And so that gets into my head space a lot. So I had to be real careful about influence that are around me, or just kind of what I'm allowing in my space, which sometimes has led to, like, people on my team, like, they're great on paper, like, their resume is awesome, like, oh, she's a data architect or whatever, but, like, this energy, I can't do it, you know? And so I think just knowing yourself is a big part of being able to be successful as an entrepreneur. Like, personal development and business development are the same thing. So, you know, you're only gonna go as far as in your business.
That's the coolest
thing.
That's personal.
I live like this.
And
yes.
Business development is the same thing as an entrepreneur.